Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live watch-along of welcome to the live watch-along, or basically the 3 o'clock football goal show. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. We're gonna have a good time. The scores are gonna be at the bottom of your screen, so keep chatting and all that jazz, and keep asking me questions, and we'll have a good time. So we got 2 goals already in the scoreboard that I can put up for you, which is Cheltenham 1, Derby 0, and Burton 0, Shrewsbury 1. So Cheltenham 1-0 up against Derby. And Shrewsbury are 1 up against Derby. Against Burton, sorry. So, guys. Oh, we do have a goal. We have another goal, folks. This time from the National League. Woking have scored. It is a goal for Woking, folks. Oh, we have another goal, folks, to add to the list. Luton have scored away at home to West Brom. Luton 1-0 at home to West Brom. So guys, keep putting your question in the chat, like, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It is the scores are underneath. So you got the scores there to let you guys know what is going. The scores are underneath at the bottom of your screen to let you guys know what the scores are in the Premier League, the football, the EFL, which is League 1, League 2, and the games that are playing in the National League. So guys, keep your questions coming. Oh, it's another goal in the game at Cheltenham. And it's a goal for Cheltenham. It's a goal for Derby. And it is Derby 1, Cheltenham 1. Connor Hurahan for Derby. The next live watch along you have for like a specific game is tomorrow at 6 o'clock for for Benfica versus Porto. No, Benfica versus Sporting. Guys, keep your questions coming. Let's get some questions in the chat as well. And we do have a goal. It's in the Championship. And it is coming from Bramall Lane. Stoke 0, Sheffield United 1, folks. And in the Scottish Premiership, it is Hibs 1-0 down at home to Dundee United, folks. And the goal for Sheffield United scored by Ilman Indai. Sheffield United are flying right now. So guys, keep your questions coming. Ask me. Just if you guys want to ask me what team you support, how are they doing? Let me know if they're not on the screen. And also, folks, it is now shockingly 2-0 Luton against West Brom, which I didn't expect to see. West Brom 2-0 down to Luton. And League 2, folks. League 2, folks. Salford 1-0 against Sutton. Salford 1-0 up against Sutton United. So guys, keep your questions coming. Like, sub, and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. I will be keeping an eye on some non-league action for you if you guys just let me know what teams you support.
Luton, as we know, 2-0 up against West Brom. Middlesbrough, Millwall goalless, as is Preston and Norwich. Reading 0, QPR 0. Sheffield United have taken an early lead. They're looking good for a return to the Premier League. 9 points above third place Blackburn. We know that Blackburn have lost with Sheffield Wednesday.
And we have another goal in the game against Cheltenham and Derby. Derby, who were 1-0 down to... who were 1-0 down to Cheltenham, are now 2-1 up away at Cheltenham. How about that, folks? How about those eggs? So far, so guys, keep your questions coming. Let me know what team you guys support in the chat, and then I can say think if they're doing well. And there's another goal in the National League, folks, and it is scored by Bromley, scored by Lewis Dennis after 9 minutes, which puts it at Bromley 1, Yeovil 0, folks. So keep your questions coming. So guys, keep your questions coming. So guys, let me know where you're watching from in the world, what and everything else, and hopefully we'll have a very good game, a very good couple of hours of we might have some very good results in the football today.
More information on the goal scorer shortly. Stockport, Northampton is goalless, as is Swindon, Grimsby, as is Tranmere, Walsall.
Yeah, Jeff, you mentioned that other match in the National League as well. Bromley have the lead in it now through Louis Dennis. Bromley 1-0 up against Yeovil, and what a game that is already at Wadham Road between Cheltenham and Derby. Cheltenham, the lowest scorers in League One. They scored early, and Derby have responded with 2 quick goals in quick succession. 3 goals in the
So we're just waiting, folks. Oh, it's a goal. We have a goal in the League One, and Sheffield Wednesday are 1-0 up. Are 1-0 up away at Wickham, and it is Will Vokes or Lukes has scored for the Owls from 1-0 up and puts massive pressure on Ipswich and Plymouth to one of them to get a result now. So guys, keep your questions coming. Let me know what team you support. Let me know where you're watching from in the world. And we do have another goal in the Championship coming from Preston. It is Preston 0, Norwich 1. Timo Pukki for the Canaries. Norwich 1, Preston 0. Wait, I can be more legend. So guys, keep your questions coming. So far, so good in the Football League and the Premier League. Good results so far. So guys, keep your questions coming. Now always will keep your mind in your ears to let you know if you want to get involved. Put your question in and ask me a question. You guys are welcome. We have another goal in League One. It's Bolton 1, Portsmouth 0 in the League One. So it's Portsmouth 0, Bolton 1. So far, we're getting goals galore. We're just going to hope, are we going to get any shot results today? We are just waiting for goals, and goals, folks. Dion Charles with the goal after 15 minutes. Bolton 1, Portsmouth 0. So keep your questions coming. We have another goal in the Scottish Premiership. It is Livingston 2, St Johnstone 0. So far, there is. So guys, keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. Let me know if you guys are enjoying how I'm doing this, because we're going to do it just with, you got me on the screen, you got scores down below, and the scores just coming. So far, you are getting. And we haven't done all of the teams that's got. We're only doing the top flight, so I'll get some of the scores. In Scottish League 2, it's East 5-1, St Elsmere 0. In League 1, it's Our Athletic 1. I got it quickly, 1-0 up against Edinburgh. It's in the Championship, folks. Bristol City are 1-0 up at home to Birmingham City. So that's in, and Norwich are 2-0 up against Preston. Kieran Dow.
My biggest observation with regards to Motherwell is that they've played the same system all season long. They've only won 2 out of 16 duels.
So far, so good. In all the games, we're having some blooming entertainment as it veered. We're having some very good. So, guys, keep your questions coming. And in the Scottish Championship, Hamilton Academical 1, Morton 0.
Something special to try and change it around. But Motherwell started the best. Stuart McKenzie sit the outside of the post, young man unknown from Leeds, and he's also forced a safe.
So keep your questions coming. If you guys want to put any questions in the chat, if you want to ask me anything, you're welcome to ask me anything. I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
I don't know because whether it's teams coming and setting up different against them.
And Sunderland are down to 10. And in Scottish League 1 is Dunfermline 1, Peterhead 0.
That should be where you build your strength as a home side. So they haven't managed to do it. That needs to change quickly, or they'll be involved in the relegation battle.
Okay, Chris, what's happening at Molineux?
Wolves have had the better start of him. Really disappointed with West Ham, but this sort of sums Wolves up this season. The build-up play is very good, and it's Semedo down the right-hand side. He fizzes the ball across the 6-yard
Just
line.
keep your questions coming.
Eventually clears the ball, but Potence is on the outside of him. I'd like to see Potence really get himself in the middle of the goal there, and he would have had an easy tap in. You know, they're always good on the eye. They have been for a number of seasons, Wolves, but it's just in that final third where they've suffered, and I don't think they get enough bodies in the box. I do think the tide is turning under Lopetegui. There has been a noticeable change, but this game is enormous for them today because, you know, if they lose against West Ham, then I think the Wolves fans will feel really deflated, but they have started the better team.
Yeah, they've scored 8 goals in their 6 games under Julian Lopetegui already, and we know that Wolves have got the worst goal-scoring record in the Premier League. They'd only scored 11 goals heading into this match in the Premier League, but in all competitions, picking up 8 goals.
So guys, keep your questions coming. And it is in League Scottish League 2, Elgin City 1, and an Athletic 0.
That's a really interesting call, actually, from David Wagner going in, because he's been out in the cold for a while.
And we do have another goal to change for you folks. It's in League 1, and it is, if I can find it for you folks, it is Charlton Athletic 1, Barnsley 0. Tyrese Campbell after 19 minutes, folks. So it is Barnsley 0, Charlton 1. And we are now going back to the Championship because it is now Bristol City 2, Birmingham City 0, Naki Wells. And I think because I was rushing a bit, I think I spelled Bristol City wrong. Sorry about you if you're from Bristol. I spelled your name wrong a bit, but I've gone and redirected it. But it is in League 1 in Scotland, Kelty Hearts 0, Airdrie 1.
It's the one that everyone's talking about. Monza are winning very easily. They're 3-0 up. Gianluca Caprari's got a couple. The second was beautifully worked. Cremonese haven't won all season. Don't look like they're done 20 times.
All right, let's talk about the one that everyone really is talking about, and that was last night. Napoli beating Juventus 5-1. Is there anything that can stop them now?
Themselves, to an extent, and whether they start to feel the pressure as the spectre of winning their first title for 30 years.
Well, 10 points clear.
10 clear. You've got Juve, Inter, and Milan, who are all kind of in the pack behind them. None of them look great. Juve are flawed. They put a decent run of form together, but never look convincing. Inter a bit up and down. Milan
At the moment, folks, we're just waiting for some more scores to come through the door.
How long you got? Napoli are the best team to watch in Europe. In fact, I said this to Chris right at the start of the season, and he laughed at me. But they are incredible to watch. They've got the front three of Kvaratskhelia, the Georgian winger, Victor Osimhen scored twice last night, and then either Raspadori or Politano attract the attention. But everything they do, they play.
We're just waiting for some goals to come, and then I'll let you guys know what has happened. But at the moment, we got a little bit of a gap between goals right now. So
Napoli scored within quarter of an hour.
since that goal for Bristol City, nothing much has really happened since.
At that point, you kind of expect Napoli to crumble a little bit. You've got 60,000 in the Stadio Maradona screaming at them, desperate to record this victory. In the second half, rather than kind of going into their shells, that stereotypical view of Italian football.
So guys, keep going. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Like, sub, and subscribe if you are new to the channel.
Obviously 10 points clear. They should be considered a genuine threat
up, haven't you?
I wouldn't expect them to win it, but I think
they're that good.
I think they can get to the semi-finals if the draw is slightly favourable for them. Yeah, they are a really good team. I don't know.
So we're just waiting for goals to flood.
Experience more than anything. If you think about kind of PSG's team or Man City's team or Bayern Munich's team.
So guys, we're just checking to see if any of you guys have put any questions in the chat. I'll keep answering your questions. Thank you for the like. I highly appreciate it. That makes me happy. We are just waiting and waiting for goals, but we haven't got any yet, folks. But I will be checking on some non-league.
Defender, he's about 30 yards from goal. He tries to head it back to his goalkeeper. He just about gets enough onto it.
We have a goal. We have a goal, folks, from Hull. And it is Hull City 0, Huddersfield 1, folks. Whoever thought I'd be saying that?
With the goalkeeper as opposed to the other way around. So David Dickinson, the referee, got it spot on.
How does the goalkeeper miss
So
that
we've
ball?
got reporters out at FA Trophy games. The whole of the National League, well, pretty much everyone except the 2 games that are playing are focusing on the 4th round of the trophy. We know last night Altrincham progressed, beating Wrexham. It was 2 after extra time, and it went to penalties. And as I say, Altrincham prevailed. But we've got Becky Ives, who is at Bracknell against Bath.
So guys, we're just waiting for goals to happen.
You nearly felt like you had the afternoon off. Is that right?
No, not me. No. Fair play to the guys at Bracknell Town. They've got this pitch well and truly sorted. It hasn't actually been raining, so yay for me at the game. I have to say there's not much going on the pitch right now, but it's tier 7 versus tier 6. And there's not much going on because I'm saying Sebastian in the midfield, FYI, they are playing. But look, it's tier 7 versus tier 6 for Middlesbrough.
We have got another goal. We have got another goal, folks, for you today. And it's coming from League 2. League 2, folks. A goal has come, and it's coming from the Grimsby Town, Swindon Town game. And Swindon 1, Grimsby 0 in League 1. Welcome to the 4 of you in the chat. If you guys want to say hi, put I in the chat, and I will shout you out.
Their last 11 games. So they're going to fancy themselves this afternoon. So not too much going on the pitch right now. No real shots to tell you about on target. But we'll keep an eye on this one. Hopefully.
And Charlie Austin has scored.
Talking of keeping an eye on it, Bex, you don't look like you're anywhere near the pitch. I hear that you've brought some binoculars with you today. That's handy.
I have to show you. Hang on, let me bend down again.
And another goal in the Scottish Championship. Scottish Premiership. Hibs have equalised against Dundee United.
Position between the burger and the bathroom with my binoculars, and this is me all game.
Excellent.
Don't mind me if I do.
So Bex doesn't seem to have a problem with the weather where she is today. It was Danny that had the issues with the weather. He was meant to be going to Harrow Borough, but that game was postponed due to a long pitch. In fact, we'll get to Danny in just a moment. There's been a chance at the Amex. Who for?
For Liverpool,
Nearly a goal for Liverpool, folks. Guys, keep your questions coming. This is your score, 3 o'clock score show.
Salah away. Salah trying to get back on his left. Hit with his right. Shot. Bounced off the keeper. And then I think, I can't need to see it again. I would say it was a pen, but you may say different.
I think what Liverpool are asking for is that Sanchez has made contact with Salah.
Gets the ball. I think he gets the ball first. He does make contact with Salah after, but he gets the ball first.
So, guys, keep your questions coming.
First, but he does get the ball first. And then,
Yeah.
to be fair, either way, I think he does get the ball. And I think, to be fair, no pen.
Okay, penalty appeal denied at the Amex for Liverpool. Still goalless there. In fact, we haven't seen a single goal in any of our 3 o'clock games in the Premier League. Let's hope it livens up. Let's get to Danny then, because he's managed to get from one round to another.
Now, we got another game in the Championship, which has got a goal, folks.
You have managed to still get yourself to watch a 7th-tier team in Leiston, though, Danny. What was the
Which
score?
is
2 grounds.
Reading. If we can find them, folks. Reading are 1-0 up against Queen's Park Rangers, folks.
First, I have to say, stop taking the mick out of Becky. Binoculars are an integral part of a reporter's kit. Let me tell you, they're very, very useful. But yes, watch the 7th.
And also in the Scottish Championship, it's Cove Rangers 0, Wraith Rovers 1.
7 of their last 9 in the league, and are really struggling. They've gone full full strength here to try and get a bit of momentum. But Leiston, the visitors are flying in the Southern Prem Central. They're third. They've got games in hand on the top teams as well. They're the top scorers in that division. And their joint managers, one of whom, Darren Eadie, I'm sure lots of Norwich and Leicester fans will remember. He and his partner, Chris Wigger, they've been talking to the local press over in Suffolk this week. They said they're going to play the underdog card to the fullest extent.
And there is a going League 2, folks. And it is Rochdale 0, Cheltenham, Colchester 1. Colchester 1, Rochdale 0. And in the Championship, Preston are getting a massive hiding.
I roomed with him once. I think I was his first roommate, so you were his second roommate. Yeah, you wouldn't have roomed with him at England, would you?
It was Preston 0, Norwich City 3. Norwich 3, Preston 0 so far in the Championship.
What a player he was. You know, he was unlucky with injuries. You know, Leicester signed him. What a great lad and a fantastic player. Great to see him, you know, as assistant manager.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Big mates, first I knew of it.
Jeff, do you have binoculars?
Do you know what? I actually don't, and I don't feel like I'm a proper reporter.
I know, that's why you're in the studio this week.
Yeah.
Trust me, you don't need them in here. Let's get around to some of the games then. Franny, massive game at the bottom between Everton and Southampton. What's it been like at Goodison Park so far?
It was a quiet opening 10 minutes, Jules, to be honest. And neither side...
But hopefully, folks, we can get some more goals in this game.
Started to get on top a little bit more. There's been some half chances that Everton had a couple of chances. One was with Damari Gray, the other one had a shot from Nana just wide of the post. But Southampton have just had a corner from James Ward-Prowse. Mohamed Salisu, 6 yards out, free header straight at Jordan Henderson, so still goalless here.
Yeah, really close there. Player down injured for Brighton at the Amex. Who is it, Bayo? Doesn't look good.
No, it's Casado. It didn't seem like much happened. I mean, it got played into him. Jordan Henderson went to go and try and nick the ball and collided slightly, went down. Henderson got booked, but when you look at it in slow motion, nothing really seems to have happened. So it is a bit worrying because you see it now. I don't know if it's that he fell awkwardly. I'm looking at it, and then I mean Hendo got booked for that, which Hendo's saying that look.
In the Scottish Championship, folks, it's called Rangers 1, Raith Rovers 1.
Okay, keep us up to date with that one. Prior to that, there was an opportunity for Matoma, who's been brilliant for Brighton on the left-hand side, starting every game since returning from the World Cup.
Yeah, so what happened? Cornwell came in and he played it and...
So we're just waiting for some goals for me to change for you folks, but no, what's happening in the Premier League, it's still 0-0 in nearly every game.
Wasn't composed, he knocked it, and then at the end of it, it was real wide. But he's been a threat down the left side. Both Matoma and March on either side have been a threat for Brighton, and Liverpool need to keep an eye on.
Oh, we have a goal in the Scottish Premiership.
The last time we came to you for the game between Wolves and West Ham, you were telling us about Wolves' attack, but West Ham have had an opportunity.
It is now Dundee United 2, Hibs 0, Hibs 1 in the Scottish Premiership, folks.
A decent situation down the left-hand side, and Paqueta helps the ball in. Bowen makes a movement into the box, and it breaks to Soufal, who's about 10 yards out level with the Jose Sar's near post, and his effort lacks conviction, and it was going wide anyway, but it's eventually cleared by the Wolves defence. But Wolves have been the better side. West Ham are trying to press Wolves high, but invariably Wolves are just playing through them, but nothing clear-cut for Wolves so far.
And we do have another goal in the Championship coming from Bramall Lane. It's Sheffield United 2, Stoke 0.
For Norwich as well, and in the match between the two sides with the worst defences in the Scottish Premiership, 3 goals. I knew it would be like this, Crags.
It's strange because both sides are good going forward, but clearly they're putting so much emphasis on going forward to leading the back door. But Hibs had a really big win last weekend. Fun enough, it came against Motherwell, and Lee Johnson's come under a little bit of pressure. You know, he's only been in there 5 or 6 months already. People are starting to turn. So Kevin Nisbet's played for him, but Dundee United have been struggling for too long. This will be a huge win for them this afternoon if they can get it.
Yeah, also in the Championship, Reading have taken the lead against QPR. Well, we missed a little bit earlier.
Jayden Bogle with the goal for Sheffield United, 2-0 against Stoke.
Just doubled their lead. They lead Stoke now by 2 goals to 0 through Jayden Bogle. Lots going on up and down the division
And we have a goal. We have a goal. Penalty dispatched by Troy Deeney, which means it is Bristol City 2, Birmingham City 1, folks. So far going well. So guys, keep questions in the chat. Let me know what you guys, if you guys are enjoying the stream. Hit the like button. Don't forget to like, sub, and subscribe if you are new. So far, so good. It is But just wait and see what other goals are happening around the grounds, folks. Because at the moment, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for goals. Goals, and goals. But all the scores are coming down at the bottom of your screen. So hopefully. And we do have a goal. A goal from League 2, folks. So League 2. And it is Stockport County 1, Northampton 0. Anthony Sarcevic with the goal for Stockport County. And it is only one of 2 games in the National League today. Bromley have gone 2-0 up at home to Yeovil Town in the National League. Folks, it's Bromley 2, Yeovil 0, and Scunthorpe 0, Woking 1 in the National League. To keep you up to speed. Is that the right word? Yeah, to keep you up to speed with what is going on. So far, so good. So let's see what other goals we can get. Coming, we're just having to wait for goals to appear, and then it will get changed on screen, and it's fun. I'm enjoying it with you folks. Hope you guys are enjoying it as well.
No goals yet in any of our 3 o'clock kickoff.
We do have a goal in League 2.
Plenty of goals flying around elsewhere. Stockport
In League 2, folks, Rochdale have equalised at home to Colchester. Devante Rodney with the goal after 36 minutes. Still, no goals in the Premier League, folks.
The FA Trophy 4th round, and Rochdale have equalised against Colchester. But the day started with a Manchester derby, a brilliant result for Manchester United at Old Trafford, Jeff, winning by 2-1. 2 goals scored in the space of 4 minutes in the second half from Manchester United, sealed all 3 points for Eric Ten Hag's side.
The game livened right up, didn't it? It's their 9th win in a row, but it was hugely controversial. Not even everybody on this panel necessarily agrees with whether it was offside or not. He was flagged offside, Rashford, but deemed not to be interfering. So it's interesting to see how that works, and we'll get everybody's view shortly. But Gavin, a Man United fan, I take it, says, if Rashford isn't interfering with play there, then I don't know what he's doing chasing the ball. Actually, be a City fan. Jeff said Rashford influenced play as City continued as though Rashford was onside. Then once Fernandes is in a position to score, he stops playing, so therefore it's offside. And former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech says the first United goal just proved the people who make the rules just don't understand the game.
It's interesting, isn't it? Let's get
And we have a goal in the Championship, folks. West Brom. West Brom have scored 2-1.
The home side have broken the deadlock. It was a corner from Damari Gray, and Amadou Onana, who's just had a free header, 5 or 6.
And folks, we have a finally ever goal in the Premier League. It's a goal for Everton against Southampton.
Matches without a win as the
Amadou Onana has scored for Everton versus Southampton.
The empty director's box, so they're minus a few extra supporters, but yeah, you can see the relief, I think, from Frank Lampard and his staff on the touchlines. But great start for the home side. Neither of these sides have won a Premier League game since October, so this could be a huge 3 points for either side.
Yeah,
I'd had as a guess, Jules, that he'd be quite happy with that goal.
Yeah, well, I wanted to know what was. Sometimes you see a bit of a muted reaction from a manager when they're under pressure, Christopher.
He's very happy.
Your managerial career didn't last very
Was that a nibble?
Franny, what about Southampton, though? Because those 2 cup wins, absolutely brilliant, really lifted the Southampton fans, probably lifted the players as well and eased a bit of pressure on Nathan Jones. But
So guys, keep your questions that come in.
in a moment, because there's a penalty at the Amex to Brighton. No?
No. It's not.
I got excited.
He dived.
And we have another goal in the Scottish Premiership. Livingston are 3-0 up to away to St Johnson.
I think Ellison touched him. He pulled out. Yeah. I think he dived. Let's see it from another angle here. There's a better view from this Solimarsh goals. No, it's not a pen anyway. He didn't give a pen. I don't think that's a pen.
Are you sure the referee hasn't pointed to the spot there? Because I think
Oh,
the
is he pointing
referee has pointed to the spot there. But I
offside,
think,
isn't it?
I apologise. No, he has put into the spot.
I think VAR are checking it because, as you say, Solimarch does look like he's in an offside
sorry.
position when the ball is
I
passed.
thought he put it because I saw Matip ask for a card as he died. So sorry, I totally took that wrong. So they are checking if he's offside. It looks like offside, but we know with VAR, we saw it with the City game today, so we don't know what's going to happen.
And we have a goal in League 2.
It does clearly look offside, doesn't it, when the ball is passed through to Solimarch. He runs into the box.
And Gillingham are 1-0 up at home to Hartlepool.
Saying in my ear he's offside. I don't know if you guys can hear that at home, but Peter
He's
Walton.
offside. He shut it down. Peter shut it down quickly. But to be fair, saying that, it has been all Brighton. It has been attack against defence. All half. But yeah, it was offside anyway. And offside to Liverpool. Still 0-0.
Yeah, still 0-0 at the Amex. Penalty denied for Brighton because Solimarch was in an offside position. A big goal in League 2 at the bottom of League 2 as well. These are the bottom 2 sides. Gillingham are leading by a goal to nil. Gillingham are the lowest scorers in the entire football league. In fact, in the top 4 divisions of English football. But they have scored against Hartlepool through Tom Nichols. They lead by a goal to nil there. Livingston 3-0 up at St Johnstone now in the Scottish Premiership as well. Tell us what's happening at Goodison Park, though. Onana with another opportunity, Franny.
Alex Iwobi, I think that
So guys, keep your questions coming, folks. I will have to pop off at half time when they all get to half time.
He cuts in on his right foot, unleashes this shot, but it just goes the wrong side of the post from Everton's point of view. But yeah, they're starting to sort of step it up a little bit now, Everton, looking the better side out of the 2 teams.
Yeah, and we were saying about Southampton that after those 2 cup wins, a defeat in the Premier League today, it almost takes all of that momentum away, doesn't it?
And we got another goal in the Championship, folks.
Performance and bouncing back after going behind against Crystal Palace, winning that, going through to the next round.
Reading are now 2-0 up against Queen's Park Rangers.
They're just not putting that into Premier League action like we've seen so far today.
We were so close to bringing Peter, and he wasn't on last week, was
I
he?
know, he barely said a
Nearly
word
come in
last
then,
week.
but I got the knees. He's going to be on this week.
Here he is. I think he's here. I think you said more than him last week, and you weren't even here,
yeah,
Robbie.
yeah.
Peter, good afternoon. We heard Jeff just telling us some of the fan reaction about the Manchester derby, and also Petr Cech, who has tweeted as well, saying that there's absolutely no way that goal cannot be given as offside because Marcus Rashford is interfering with play, and he suggests that the people that make the rules don't play the game, and that can't be right. What's your response to that, Peter?
Well, look, very quickly, it's laws, not rules, so Petr Cech's wrong there.
That's petty, Peter.
So we'll move on from that. Offside, split it into 2 things. One is an offside position, and then the offside offence. And you go both sets of jigsaws.
We've got 2 goals, and they're both one from League 2. So, sort with you folks.
But it's then up to the referee to decide: is he interfering?
Mansfield are 1-up at home to Crew.
Does he interfere with an opponent? And then he walks over to the assistant. They explain it to one another. They come to
Fleetwood are
a
1-0 up at home to Oxford United. And Burton are 2-0 down to Shrewsbury.
The law, as you say, very, very well. But surely, from a defensive point of view, the City players, the question is, does Marcus Rashford run interfere with, the 2 defenders? Was it Walker or Kanji? I'm not sure the defenders were. But surely, the only place that ball was going to was Marcus Rashford. Bruno Fernandes run late. So by Marcus Rashford running with the ball, surely he's interfered in the play, even though he's not touched it and he's not impeded the run of the 2 centre-halves. Surely by his action, if he stops, I totally get it. But he's run with the ball, he's always a yard from the ball, so surely by that movement he's interfered with play.
So guys, quick question in the chat, like, subscribe if you are new to the channel.
Also text me, and it said exactly the same thing as you. So there's lots of people out there who think that was an interference of the play. The main man, Stuart Atwell, decided it wasn't. That's the subjectivity of it. Whether it's the right decision depends on which team you support. But in law, the process was.
But there, as an ex-referee, then all this panel. Listen, I'm not sure what they all think, but surely by his movement with the ball, he is actually interfering with play. What do you think?
Look, I mean, it doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah, it does. I'm asking you. What do you think? That's what you're here for.
Oh, it's a goal. Goal, and a third goal at Bramall Lane, folks.
That's completely different, George. Don't go there.
Do you think?
And Stoke have got one back. Stoke City 1, Sheffield United 2.
About goals, FIFA IFAB want goals in the game. They don't want to be chalking goals off just because of technicalities. In terms of that one, that was a subjective viewpoint.
Most games are now going into half-time, folks.
It's not about goals. It's not about goals, Peter. It's about the right decision.
Yeah, and it's not. And I'm a forward, but regardless, if you saw Rashford's body language anyway, he's got his head over the shoulder. As it goes past him, he continues to actively run with the ball, and that's like he's interfering with play. So when you're coming back from an offside position and you put your hand up to let you know you're not doing anything in that
Nick
play,
Powell with the goal for Stoke. It's game 1 at Bramall Lane.
he's active in the active play, no?
No, Bayo, there's a great camera angle from behind the goal that you can clearly see the defenders are watching the ball, Rashford is watching the ball, and really the idea of Rashford defending the ball or running with the ball runs out because he's 2 or 3 yards away from the ball at every one time.
He's running at you're saying regardless of what his movement. So his movement, he looks over, changes, and he continues to run. So everything happens beforehand. So they know he's behind him. So already, look at the defenders.
So we're just waiting, folks, for...
He knows he's offside.
And Peter, leaving aside all of that, the pass is for Rashford. He's passed the ball to Rashford.
Rory, you're quite right there. I mean, that's not in debate. The debate is, does he commit the offence? And really, I'm going to, defend...
Oh, we have another goal in League 2, folks.
In the law as it's written and interpreted is the correct decision.
Pete, but you just said though, IFAB and the law...
2-0 Salford against Sutton. 2-0 Salford against Sutton.
Minutest things in the world. So you can't have it both ways, Pete.
Well, you're right, Rob. You can't. And that was the, one of the benefits or lack of when VAR was introduced. That's being tweaked as we even sit here now. And you and I both know that VAR will improve and will actually evolve as progress goes through. And ultimately, it'll be down to the match referee. And IFAB are looking to make more goals and more goal chances.
Okay, we'll draw a line under that one for now because I feel like this debate could carry on for quite a long time. We're approaching half-time in most of our games, all of our 3 o'clock matches in the Premier League at half-time. And just before the whistle, Franny, an opportunity for Southampton to get an equaliser.
Oh, they came so close, Jules, to equalise.
Just waiting to see if any... So most games, folks, are at half-time in their respective games. We have another goal in League 2.
Hits the post, bounces back into play. Then one of the Everton defenders cleared the
Carlisle 1. Newport County 0. ex-Chesterfield striker Christian Dennis with the goal.
In our Premier League matches, they lead Southampton by 1-0 in a massive game at the bottom. Also, another big game at the bottom between Wolves and West Ham, but no goals yet, Chris.
No goals. I don't think there's been a shot on target by either side. So we just spoke before the game about Wolves, the lowest scorers in the league. You can see why. Cunha's
So guys, keep your questions are coming.
Forward today, he's had very little service, and Antonio just doesn't look like the player which he once was. And Paqueta's been a massive disappointment at West Ham. When he went there, I think there was a lot of excitement. They signed a Brazilian and what have you, but he's been really flat and not good on the ball. Hopefully, second half this game will improve.
Okay, plenty of work to do for both sides then. And what about at the City ground, Robbie?
That should be the better side. Best chance of the game fell to Harvey Barnes. As Chris said, just couldn't quite sort his feet out. Middle of the goal, 8 yards out, puts it past the post. Not much attacking threat from either side, but Leicester being the better side.
And at the Amex, also goalless, Bayo. Liverpool holding on at the moment.
So we're just,
It was all Brighton.
so we're all at half time, folks.
And then followed by March. It's been Liverpool wanted half time from I think 22 minutes into the game. Brighton's been.
I'm gonna quickly pop off.
Okay, well, let's hope we get some more goals in the second half. We'll be bringing you all of the half.
So guys, I'm just gonna pop off quickly. It won't be long. And I'll talk to you guys about a few minutes. I am now back, folks. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream.
In the Scottish Premiership, Hibs 1, Dundee United 2, Motherwell and Ross County goalless, and St Johnstone 0, Livingston 3. In the Scottish Championship, Ayr United 1, Arbroath 0, Cove Rangers 1, Raith Rovers 2, Dundee versus Partick Thistle was postponed, Hamilton 1, Morton 0, and Inverness Queen's Park is goalless. In Scottish League 1, Alloa Athletic 2, FC Edinburgh 0, Dunfermline 2, Peterhead 0, Falkirk 1, Clyde 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Airdrie 1, and Montrose Queen of the South is goalless. Scottish League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose versus Stirling and Albion was postponed. East Fife 1, Stenhousemuir 0, Elgin City 1, Annan Athletic 0, Forfar Athletic and Dumbarton is goalless. And Stranraer 0, Albion Rovers 1, sorry. In the National League, only 2 games today due to the 4th round of the FA Trophy. It's Bromley 2, Yeovil 0 at Hayes Lane, and we're going to Glanford Park, Scunthorpe against Woking. Is it going well for Woking? Let's hear from John T. Sargent and he'll let us know.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. Well, as we've already mentioned earlier on today, Scunthorpe United have their issues off the pitch, and to be quite honest with you, it's not looking too good on the pitch either. It took Woking just 5 minutes to break the deadlock. It was Reece Brown who was put through on goal. Owen Foster then hesitated in coming out of his area, and Brown simply slotted home to take advantage of that. For Woking, of course, well, since then it's been relatively a scrappy one. Not too many chances at either end for both sides. Michael Nelson, though, he would have hoped that Scunthorpe's 3-0 win over Maidenhead last week would have provided some kind of a turning point for his Scunthorpe United side. But so far, that is quite simply not the case. And tell Danny, we've got our binoculars out here as well.
Hey! I don't believe you, John T, for some reason. Let's get to some of those FA Trophy matches then, because we've got reporters out at a couple of the grounds following the 7th tier side that are still holding on. Let's find out whether Leiston are doing just that at Aldershot with Danny and his binoculars.
No binoculars needed in this first half. Aldershot had the breakthrough, although Leiston have been very good in this first half. They were probably the better side for the first 40 minutes until the shots got the breakthrough. Ollie Harfield down the left-hand side has been an excellent outlet. His cross isn't the greatest, but it seems to hold up in the wind. The Leiston goalkeeper, Sam Donker, I think he loses it in the wind. He doesn't time his jump correctly. He drops the ball basically right at the feet of Harry Paniotu, hooks it in. Leiston players insisting it's a foul on the goalkeeper. I'm not too sure. They did almost get the equaliser right on half-time. A header from a short corner flicked just over the bar by Jake Hutchings. But there's hope there for Leiston. They're definitely still in this game. So the higher division side in control here. How about in our other FA Trophy feature game? Becky Ives is watching Bracknell against Bath City.
Certainly am, Danny. I have to say it's been a fairly underwhelming game of football, if I'm allowed to say that in a minute. Bracknell Town, the Tier 7 side who play their football in the Southern League Premier Division South, they'll be happier at half-time. They've zipped the ball around nicely in the midfield, albeit it has been in the midfield. Not much to tell you in the final third. But
We're just waiting for the second half to get underway, folks.
Bath City to just one single shot on target. The last 5 minutes of the game, potentially, Bath City showing us that they do have levels that they can get to and need to get to. But yeah, at the minute, Bracknell Town, the Tier 7 side, they have never been in the last 16 of the FA Trophy. That is their aim today. Whereas Bath City, the National League South side, well, they haven't been there since 2015. Pray for me for a goal in the second half, 0-0 at the minute.
I love the way you whispered it, Bex, by the way, that it's been a bit of a rubbish game, just in case the fans behind you heard you. I noticed. It's okay. Hopefully we'll get some more goals for you. And also some goals in our Premier League matches as well. It's been a rather quiet afternoon in the studio. Just the one goal to show for at Goodison Park for Everton, who lead by a goal to nil. As you can see, the matches are just about to get underway in the second halves. Just to let you know, Robbie, your Macclesfield side are leading by 2 goals to nil at half-time.
Yeah, we're doing all right, Jules. Yeah, I'm just keeping quiet. Yeah, tough game away today. Every game's tough when you play for Macclesfield. Everybody's got fun.
How are you going to cope without one of your players that you've let go to reality TV?
Big debate this week, Jules. You know, we're getting a little bit of criticism for letting Tom Player go on Love Island, but how can you deprive a young man, 23, the opportunity to hopefully earn lucrative amount of money and change him and his family's life?
Robbie, what departments is he strong in?
What?
What departments is he strong in?
Great impact player.
No, you're talking about Love Island.
I know, you idiot.
I know.
guy. Listen, he's been magnificent for us, Jeff. Been with us.
But you have it.
Chris, let me finish. He's been with us from the start. He turned down 2 bids to go elsewhere, so he's been terrific for us. And when he come to us and said, "Listen, can I go on Love Island?" You know, how am I? It's his part-time job, by the way. He's a part-time footballer. He's got a full-time day job. So we know how lucrative Love Island can be when you come out of it if you do well, you know. And he's in a fortunate position myself, you know. Obviously, it's difficult for him.
Is he going to come back?
Yeah, he's going to come back, but you know, I've tried to prepare him mentally, you know, because instant fame, you know, when he goes on the plane, nobody knows who he is. When he comes out, Jeff, you know, a lot of people know who he is. So that prepared him and his family for when he comes out, which is more important, you know, the mental, you know, well-being side of it. Because he's a great guy. He won't understand, you know, what fame is, you know, because listen, I do.
I do. Goes, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Hopefully we get some goals, some goals and some shocks in the league, in League 1, League 2, and the Championship and the National League as well.
I don't know if Tom thinks that, but at this stage in this young man's life, he's got an opportunity to go into the line. So well done.
And guys, we have a result. Brighton has scored against Liverpool.
I only saw the last bit, so I was listening to Sam.
Goal for Brighton, Solly March. Goal for Wolves against West Ham, folks.
It's a really emphatic finish. West Ham actually started the second half well, but it's a ball just fed into the box, I think, from Nunes.
Guys, keep your questions coming. Solly March for Brighton and for Wolves, Daniel Podent.
Pass, but I mean, it's a wonderful finish, and I mean, this game is always going to be tense with both teams at the bottom, but Wolves at this moment in time have leapfrogged West Ham. West Ham need to get back into it.
Really good. 3 goals in the last 4 matches for Daniel Podence, and Southampton, bottom of the table, have scored through James Ward-Prowse, Franny, an equaliser.
They have, and it's the golf swing celebration. Absolutely outstanding. He's latched onto a ball that was played into the box.
And we have a goal. Another goal in the Premier League, folks. Southampton have equalised away at Everton. Southampton have equalised away at Southampton. James Ward-Prowse.
He was brilliant against Manchester City in the victory in the week, wasn't he, Franny? And he's picked up exactly where he left off there. That could be a massive goal for Southampton. They're back in the game at Goodison Park. 1-1 there. Let's hear about that goal for Brighton then, because you said in the first half that a lot of their positive play was coming from the left-hand side through Matoma, and it's him who sets the ball up for Solly March.
Again, sloppy play from Liverpool. Very, very sloppy. Brighton pounce on him. McAllister wins it back. He slots it through to Lallana. Lallana slots it then through to Matoma. Matoma then again slots it through to March, and it was all. And March was there, unmarked, back. It's nothing more than what Brighton's deserved. Literally, they've started the second half like they finished the first half. Sloppy from Liverpool, and then pounced on by Brighton. 1, 2, 3, 4. The final touch was.
Leicester! Goal!
Oh, it's so close. Leicester's so close.
So guys, keep your questions coming. We're getting some goals in the Premier League now, folks.
Absolute sitters. You know, they close the ball down, they make a high press. Tielemans gets it, it's 3v2, and he puts the ball to Harvey Barnes, 12 yards out, level with the back post, opens his body up. We see Harvey Barnes just curl them into the bottom corner, and it's inches, as you say, Jules, past the post. Not enough curl on it. It's a great chance.
It is so close to being the opening goal at the City ground, but just not quite on target, as you say there, from Harvey Barnes. So still goalless there. That goal for Solly March at the Amex, his first at home since September 2020. He's been in blistering form since the return of the World Cup as well. So Brighton leading Liverpool by a goal to nil. It was always going to be about that battle between Trent and Matoma on that left-hand side for Brighton, and at the moment, Brighton are winning it. Let's find out about West Ham at the moment, Chris, because they are in the bottom 3. As things stand, the bottom 3 are Southampton still at the bottom, West Ham bottom. Bournemouth, who don't play until later against Brentford. So Everton and Wolves out of bottom three as things stand, Chris.
Yeah, and West Ham have been really poor all season. You know, I think David Moyes doesn't know what his best side is. He signed Scamacca, Italian international. That hasn't really come off. He's on the bench today. I know he came on and scored against Leeds, so you know, maybe we'll see him soon. But West Ham need to respond. David Moyes will come under a lot of pressure if they lose this game. I think you said they've got Everton up next. I think he needs to win one of these next two games, possibly to keep his job.
Jules, assuming you look at West Ham, you always think of David Moyes teams, or David Moyes as a manager, well organised, disciplined.
Well, we have a go in the Championship, folks.
19 Premier League games, which is really unusual. From Chris is saying there,
And it is Swansea 1, Sunderland 0, and in League One, folks, it is
Away from home as well, Jeff. Not one in 7 Premier League matches on the road, and it's not going well today.
it is
Absolutely, it's 1 point from 8.
Bolton 2, Portsmouth 0, and in
Fans, Chris, and I'll come back to you afterwards. Johnny says
is now 3-1 to Bristol City against Birmingham.
to attack. Players look scared to go forward. Owen, shocking yet again. Team selection is terrible. The players look not bothered. It's clear Moyes is the reason for both. He needs to go or we're going to be relegated. Daniel says completely devoid of any promise or hope. Europa League has papered over our cracks for over 12 months now. So Chris, how much responsibility do you think that the manager has to take for this?
I mean, he has to take a lot of the responsibility. I think, you know, the issue is you know, last season, I think we all thought that the squad was light at West Ham. They spent over 150 million. That then starts to become an issue. They finished 7th last season in the Premier League. This season, they are really, really underperforming. I don't think he knows what his best side is. I think, you know, Stephen mentioned West Ham defensively. I think there are reasons for that at the start of the season. They couldn't get a settled back line, but they're a team, they aren't playing.
So guys, keep your questions coming. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream.
And they need to find a way of getting back into this game. I mean, the irony is, if David Moyes does end up getting the sack, the type of manager who you would want in to come and resurrect a team like West Ham is David Moyes.
We've tried that before, though. Hiring him, firing him, waiting a bit, then getting him back.
It worked this time round, getting him back, didn't it?
West
6th and
Ham-
7th place finishes in the last 2 seasons.
West Ham do sort of feel like the team that sleepwalks.
Oh, what a goal that is. Brighton have doubled their lead, and it's Solly marching.
Guys, Liverpool are on the ropes. Liverpool 0, Brighton 2. Liverpool having a fucking mare. Liverpool having a mare, Brighton. And Solly March is doing Liverpool in. Liverpool have been done in by Solly March. Oh! And we got another goal in the Championship,
Looks like he reverses it, side netting. Addison had no
which is Middlesbrough 1,
4 goals in
Millwall 0.
Brighton. He'd gone 50.
And we do have a goal in League One for you folks,
I don't know what Roberto De Zerbi has done with him, Bayo.
which is Forest Green Rovers 1, Exeter 0.
Him to shoot. Can that happen when a new manager comes in, that they can just give you a new lease of life?
Yeah, it looks like just everything about Brighton. It's free flowing, it's fluid, and he's just playing. It's expressive.
So far, going well.
And he just looks like a totally different player. You can already know he's got good technical ability, and his finish just showed it. But yeah, man, like you said, the goals that are flying in now, he's a totally different player, playing with confidence and freedom.
What a start to the second half for Brighton. 2-0 up against Liverpool, and the side the FA Cup last weekend. Middlesbrough are leading by a goal to 0 against Millwall. Middlesbrough were 20.
Getting Solly March. Getting Solly March. Liverpool 0, Brighton 2.
Green are leading Exeter by a goal to 0 as well. Plenty other goals flying in as well. Bolton now 2-0 up against Portsmouth. Swansea have a 1-0 lead against 10-man Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, and Bristol City 3-1 up against Birmingham. But I imagine, Jeff, Liverpool fans are not going to be happy with what they're seeing.
Well, if Addy's face is anything to go by, they'll be a little bit frustrated right now. Patterson says, when was the last time Liverpool actually played well in a game from start to finish? I genuinely can't remember. The Man City game in October, potentially. Steve says, been trying to be optimistic about top 4, but it's not happening this season. Which you would imagine would seriously dent any possibility of the top signing that we were after. I'll finish this in a second, Chris.
Nottingham Forest have scored at the City ground, and it's a brilliant run, isn't it, Robbie?
Oh, it's offside.
Oh, it's offside! Oh, no!
assistant's flag's gone up and it'll be checked. It's Brennan Johnson. It's the ball through. Is he going to be onside? I'm going to tell you in a minute. Oh, I think he's on. I think he's on. Obviously, he goes round the keeper. Then the assistant puts his flag up. It's going to be checked. I'm going to say, Jules, I think he's onside.
You're going to say he's onside. It's one of those where the lean potentially just takes him offside. Let's take a look again. We're hopefully going to get an angle in a moment.
The keeper comes out, he toe pokes it round him, and he puts it into the empty net. He's got his hands on his hips. He's waiting. VAR going to check it.
Is he interfering with the player, Robbie?
I think he's timed his run to perfection. I'm going to... Listen, Joe.
You can't tell from that angle.
To be fair, that image is incredibly badly pixelated. It looks like it's from a Super Nintendo.
It does, doesn't it? It's not very good quality, is it? Okay, now we're seeing another angle. Ooh, he looks...
Onside.
He's onside. He is onside. Robbie Savage, well done. Good spot that. So it looks as though this goal will stand. We're just waiting for the referee on the pitch to confirm this. The VAR lines we have just seen shows that Brennan Johnson is in fact onside. The goalkeeper wasn't in his goal when he went through. Goal's been given.
Told you.
So it's 1-0 Nottingham Forest versus Leicester, folks.
City ground erupts, and Brennan Johnson has done the same celebration that we saw in the cup game in the week. They've all been sticking their fingers in their ears. They've done it again there, and yeah, there we go. So Nottingham Forest.
Have they been listening to Chris?
Possibly.
What are you laughing, Joe?
Let's get back to Goodison Park. We heard about James Ward-Prowse's equaliser a moment ago, but Everton have just hit the woodwork, have they?
Oh, they have.
And we just got we got a goal in League One, folks.
I think it's Salisu who slides in.
And it is Accrington Stanley 1, Bristol Rovers 0.
And then it loops up over Bazzuno. You think it's going to go in the goal. It hits the crossbar, bounces back down on the right side of the goal line for Southampton, and is cleared away. So Everton's so close to coming back to taking the lead, but Southampton getting on level terms with James Ward-Prowse's 50th.
Crew have equalised against Mansfield and in League One, folks. Derby are 3-1 up away at Cheltenham.
Derby coming from 1-0 down, now to lead by 3 goals to 1. An early second half goal for them as well through Tom Barkhazen. And Albion Rovers have made it 4-0 against Stranraer. Arbroath have equalised at Ayr United as well. And we just heard about that huge goal for Brennan Johnson at the City Ground for Nottingham Forest. They lead Leicester by a goal to 0. Let's get to Danny Jameson. He's at Aldershot watching the FA Trophy game between them and 7th tier Leiston. No upset on the cards by the sounds of it, Danny.
It doesn't look like it. Aldershot came out after half-time really strong, and they've got the second goal. They probably deserve this.
So guys, keep your questions are coming, folks.
A pair of them absolutely terrorised poor Joe Marsden, the Leiston right-back, chasing a lost cause. The ball looks like it's going out. Both of them just about managed to keep it in. Willard comes out with the ball and fires it across goal. And Ryan Glover is there following up about 4 yards out to smash it into the back of it.
Be back in a minute, folks.
We deserve this. Aldershot 2, Leiston 0.
Danny, thank you very much. Robbie, let's just chat a little bit about what that goal might mean for Leicester City and Brendan Rodgers. I mean, it's just not been a good start since the World Cup for them, has it? And they were in such good form before the break.
Yeah, they certainly were. That World Cup obviously has come a long time for Brendan Rodgers on this side. And you think, I'm not sure how many players Leicester have away, but Brendan Rodgers, coaching, he'd have had a lot of time to work with the players in an amazing training facility. But, the changes, constant changes in the back four. I don't know why they're trying to play offside. There was just another one there when there was a ball through and they're playing such a high line. But credit Steve Cooper. This game, the reverse fixtures, remember Brendan Rodgers was under real pressure, as was Steve Cooper, and Leicester won that game.
There was a lot of talk about Cooper after that game getting the sack.
But he got a new contract, didn't he?
He did. He got a new contract during the week, and since then he's kept on. So it's almost a masterstroke by the owners. When he's under pressure, when there's scrutiny, listen, we all know football, when it doesn't work, his players have responded. Clarification, manager staying, let's kick on, and the results since then have been absolutely brilliant.
And to be fair, he was always going to need a bit of time to figure out the sort of the shape of the team, the best.
He's signed 23.
So 23, and they've added another 2 already in January. Do the same. Scarpa, who's making his debut, and Danilo from Palmeiras.
Yeah.
They keep coming at Forest.
Yeah, and we're just seeing shots in the crowd at City Ground of Sean Dyche there, Robbie. Not sure how we can read into that, but Sean Dyche is at the City Ground watching Nottingham Forest against Leicester.
Well, you are to it, ain't you?
Oh, I'm
You are.
just wondering why he might be there.
Maybe he wants to watch a football
Yeah.
Just to watch.
He's allowed a day
Was
out.
allowed, maybe.
What are you trying to say, Jill?
I'm just wondering why.
Maybe he was at a loose end. It's fun.
Possibly.
He lives near Nottingham.
Does he?
No.
Okay. Does he actually?
No, he lives in Kettering.
Why do you
near
all know
Nottingham.
where Sean
Well,
Dunn
yeah,
lives?
I wouldn't boast about it.
He actually moved. I've been told he moved to Nottingham
There
18
you go.
months ago.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Wasn't up to date with Sean
He's
Dyche's
just having a day out.
his Zoom
There you
lab.
go.
You lot was saying that with chess like you knew he lived in Kettering.
So he's not going to be the next Leicester manager, is that what you?
Probably not. Jeff, what are fans saying?
Got some reaction from Leicester fans. Sar's saying Leicester are playing like they've got absolutely no plan whatsoever. And Remy says Leicester are sleepwalking to relegation under Rodgers. Stubborn tactics, clearly not working. Title win feels like an absolute lifetime
See,
ago.
that's harsh, because they should have been 2-0. Harvey Barnes has missed 2 sitters. So that is harsh. When you're watching the game in full, Leicester have been the better side in the first half, and then they should have gone 1-0 up in the first half, and then 1-0 up in the second half, because they did take a chance in the first half. 2 great chances, yeah? So that's unfair. They've been the better side, and then they tried to have scored a goal.
I'm now back, folks. I just had to quickly go and do some stuff. If I have missed any goals, let me know. Still, I'm just going to make sure that I've not missed any scored out. Oxford have equalised against Fleetwood.
At the moment, relief potentially for Neil Harris to pick up a 3 points today at home. They lead Hartlepool by 2 goals to 0. We're going to take a break. More to come after this.
Kyle 2-0 up. Gillingham have just gone 2-0 up.
Playing can be pretty tough, especially when you're transitioning into a corporate world. Why will be fine though.
So far, folks, results don't look like they're going the way of what they want it to be. But we're here to have a look. And Stevenage have scored against Harrogate. It's 1-0 Stevenage against Harrogate. So we are all up to date. So guys, keep your questions coming, folks. Just waiting to see any other goals. And we do have another goal in League One, folks. And it is Shrewsbury Town 3, Burton Albion 0. Burton are 3-0 down, folks. Burton are 3-0 down, folks. And Ipswich have scored at home to Plymouth. Plymouth 1, Plymouth 0, Ipswich 1. That could be a big goal in League One. With the help that Sheffield Wednesday are winning, that has massively helped them out. Thanks to Ipswich scoring. And a goal in the Championship, folks. Sunderland have equalised at home to Swansea. And we've got a goal in League One, where it is Charlton Athletic 2, Barnsley 0. and a goal in the Scottish Premiership. St Johnstone have got to go back against Livingston 3-1.
Massive goal at the top of League One, and it has gone to Ipswich. They've taken the lead against the leaders, Plymouth. What a result this would be if they can hold on in front of 28,000 fans at Portman Road today. Incredible turnout from them. They're pushing for an automatic promotion place. At the start of play today, they were just 2 points off Sheffield Wednesday in second. What a result that will be if they can hold on. They lead by a goal to nil. Sunderland, who are down to 10 men at the Stadium of Light, have equalised against Swansea, and Charlton have doubled their lead over Barnsley now. Shrewsbury are now...
And we have a goal in the Championship.
For a win as well, Shrewsbury. They lost 4 matches in all competitions in a row, but looks as though they've got all 3 points on the road today. Jeff, lots to come on BT tomorrow.
Absolutely. Firstly, the game in Serie A that you
West Brom have equalised away at Luton 2-2.
Monza, and obviously Cremonese scored twice, so it ended 3-2. It was very dramatic.
Then 3-0
Proud
up.
of that one. 3-0 up Monza, conceded 2 late on, but they still won, so I was kind of right.
Okay, now we've gone to League 1,
Yeah.
and you are watching what game?
I'm watching Lens against Auxerre. So Lens at second in Liga. They're 6 points off PSG. They beat them last week, 10 days ago, to kind of create this sort of sense of a title race in Liga, which is not necessarily famous for its title races. Lens can go to within 3 points of PSG today. PSG at Rennes tomorrow for 4th. That's a tricky game for them. So it could be that the gap maybe closes up a little bit today.
Yep, let's come back to a little bit more European news from you. Crabs, you got a goal?
I have indeed. It's Motherwell who've taken the lead here at Fir Park. They haven't won at home in the league since the 20th of August. Brilliant play by Kevin Van Veen, of course, played down here in England, played at Scunthorne, I think it was his last club. Takes the ball in really well, flicks the ball off. Stuart McKinstry takes it in his stride.
And Motherwell have scored against Ross County 1-0 Motherwell.
This could be a big goal for Motherwell.
How are you doing? I'm doing alright, just doing a good old score show for you, for the folks.
Jeff, what's the fancy call again?
League 1.
It's nice the way you said it.
Oh, it's another goal between Livingston and St Johnstone. St Johnstone 2, Livingston 3.
Rory, again, tell us about Lens. They're second. They're the surprise package this year, and the only side to beat PSG.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. Lens is a sort of little mining town, effectively.
Oh my God! 2-0 up. We're Luton against West Brom, and West Brom have gone from 2-0 down to now be 3-2 up. This is a story.
We will see in the Premier League in the next 2 or 3 years young talents up Ender, the striker, particularly, who will end up on Premier League screens. But they have put this incredible run together.
This is remarkable, and it's another goal between Reading and Queen's Park Rangers. Queen's Park Rangers have got 1 goal back away at Reading.
Super Cup, El Clasico, Real versus Barcelona. Who do you see edging that one?
Thank you very much. I will have fun.
It's difficult.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's in Saudi Arabia. That's just, it's one of those great traditions of all of modern European football. That stuff just is held in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, Barca and Real both a little bit. They've come back a little bit kind of after the World Cup, a little bit up and down. Real lost to the Real last week. Barca drew with Espanyol in their first game back. Chance for them both to play their way into form, although they both needed penalties to make the Super Cup final. But obviously, I'm imagining that the Saudi authorities who bought the Spanish Super Cup didn't really want Real betters against Valencia, so everyone's got what they wanted.
Yes, we've got that on BT Sport 1, on BT Sport 2, we've got Roma Fiorentina. Is that an interesting game?
Yeah, Roma kind of starting to find a bit of form on the outside of the European race in Serie A. Fiorentina a bit up.
So guys, keep your questions coming. Like, sub and subscribe if you're new to the channel.
World Cup winner in decent form for Roma as well, so worth watching.
Look, loads of goals to tell you about in the Championship. What a turnaround this has been for Carlos Corberan's side. Luton were 2-0 up. West Brom got a goal back in the first half through Daryl DK to make it 2-1, and they've scored 2 second-half goals to take the lead now. They've been in
And we've got another goal.
They've won 8 of 10 league matches under Carlos Corberan as they continue to push for a playoff place.
It's Bristol City 1, Bristol City 4, Birmingham 1.
That goal scored through Tyler Roberts, and Bristol City look to be taking all 3 points at home against Birmingham. It's now Bristol City 4, Birmingham 1. Liverpool are 2-0 down against Brighton at the Amex, but Jurgen Klopp has just made 4 changes, Bayo. Who were they?
So I see Keita come on. No, let's stop that. Keita come on. Gomez come on. Doak came on, and
So guys, keep your questions coming.
He took off Fab. He took off Ox. He took off.
They're your mates.
He took off
Fab?
Yeah, Fabinho. Sorry, because we're close like that. I can call him Fab.
Has Hendo stayed on?
Yeah. We call like that. Listen, Henderson came off for KAR. Hey, bruv, stop that. Henderson came off for KAR.
And
Came off for KAR. Ox Chambers came off. Fabinho came off. And Matty came off.
Sunderland are now 2-1 down to Sunderland to Swansea, and Preston are now 4-0 down to Norwich. Emo Bookies can go of the game. And in the National League, Bromley are 3-0 up against Yeovil, and in League 2, Swindon are 2-0 up against Grimsby.
Yeah, there's been a couple already, or a few. Well, there's going to be Wolves' fourth substitution. Nouri's come on for Pedence, who went down with a shoulder injury, so a worry there for Lopetegui. Jimenez has come on for Cunha. Traore's coming on, and also interesting one, Lamina coming on. So this will be his first start in a well, not a start, but coming off the bench in a Wolves jersey to see this game through. Martinho's hobbled off there, but West Ham actually showing a bit of urgency at last.
What about at Goodison Park, Franny? Who looks more likely to get a goal?
Oh, well, it was the home side at that moment, Jules. It was a ball whipped into the box. Bazunu, the goalkeeper, gets a slight touch on it. And I think it's... Who is it? I think
Well, we have another goal in League 2.
He's not expecting it.
Walsall are 1-0 up against Tranmere, folks.
Still 1-1 at Goodison Park in that big game at the bottom of the table. Also, so Wolves still leading by 1-0, and Forest had another opportunity. Robbie?
Henderson has taken the ball out of the box there. Well, he's not given it. It was a big opportunity for Surridge, a header, put it past the post. I think he'd have been offside. We're just watching this. The ball gets clipped in. Henderson carries the ball.
He's pushed.
Oh, he's pushed out though, isn't he?
Shoved out by
Yeah, he was
Vardy.
shoved out, yeah.
You're right. He is out of the box, Robbie,
It
but
was a little push,
there was
yeah.
a nudge there, wasn't there, from Vardy? Yeah, that chance for Surridge. Tell us about that.
It was a ball from the right-hand side. Very similar position to where Harvey Barnes missed in the first half for Leicester. Header, he goes for the far post.
Oh, we got a goal in the National League. The goal back for Yeovil.
Swindon have doubled their lead over Grimsby as Everton go through on goal. The goalkeeper just about gets enough on it there, Franny.
Yeah, and it was Calvert-Lewin that picked up the ball on the left-hand side for Everton. He breaks into the box.
And Exeter have equalised against Forest Green.
Caleta dives in. He fires the ball across the box. Bazunu gets a little touch on it, which I think makes it difficult for Anthony Gordon, who's on his to just try and react to it. So yeah, Southampton come under a lot of pressure from Everton.
How's Dominic Calvert-Lewin looked in the game today? Because we know he's been out injured for such a long time, but since returning...
And Portsmouth are 3-0 down to Bolton, folks.
No, he's
Let's get some more energy because the Wolves have hit the woodwork. How has that not gone in, Chris?
Well, twice. It's Nunez on the break for Wolves. He clips a lovely diagonal
He's
ball to
offside anyway.
Neves when he was offside, but Neves from the edge of the box.
And in League 2,
the sub following in then makes it, I think he should do better.
so Stockport are 2-0 up.
He hammers the ball.
And in League 2 also, it is now 3-0 Swindon versus Grimsby Town, folks.
On the edge, but there is still time for them to get back into this game. Still time in the match. What are we saying about Dominic Calvert-Lewin there, Franny?
just that he's been pretty quiet today, Jules, really. He hasn't had a huge amount of service into him from his teammates, but yeah, certainly a player that's going to be key for Frank Lampard's side in their fight for survival. They need him back playing regularly, scoring goals, but probably a little bit of help in the transfer window as well would be good for Everton.
Okay, let's get to our FA Trophy match with Danny Jamieson. He's watching Aldershot against Leiston. Is there sign of life in the 7th tier side, Danny?
Oh, there's more than signs of life, Jules. They've got a goal back. It's a very weird goal to concede. Aldershot sort of lose possession in their sort of left-back area. And Will Davies pounces on it, has a shot. The goalkeeper Luca Ashby-Hammond and one of his centre-backs both sort of go to block it. One of them blocks the other, and the loose ball drops to Finlay Barnes, who's been really good for Leicester in midfield. That's his 10th of the season. Slots it into an open goal, and we've got 20 minutes to go. Who knows? The closer we get to 90 minutes, one goal will take this one to penalties. It's Aldershot 2, Leicester 1.
Yeah, Stockport have doubled their lead against Peter Walton's Northampton side 2-0 there. Bolton now 3-0 up against Portsmouth. Exeter have equalised against Forest Green, and Swindon now 3-0 up against Grimsby. Nottingham Forest, what's happening there, Robbie?
This could be a red card. The referee's given a yellow, so the ball's over the top again. Surridge is putting pressure on the defender. And I'm not sure who
Is that for a high boot?
I think there's a recovering defender, Robbie, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a Marty with a challenge. I just think for the challenge though, Craigs, the referee's given a yellow card. It's caught him in the groin area.
Well, a bit higher, Rob.
I think do you think it's a red?
I don't think it's not. You think it's a red for that?
It's Lewis O'Brien and Amarty that this is between. Amarty just slips quite a high boot onto him.
That's a very harsh red.
No, it's a yellow. He's given yellow. I'm just going to see the replay now. The referee's given a yellow. I've not seen the replay, but the first instance you're thinking, it's touched really high there. So the referee's given a yellow card. It's just for the challenge, not for a clear goal scoring opportunity at all. But looks like he's going to stick with it.
Okay, so a booking has been given to Amarty there, and Nottingham Forest have a free kick outside the box. They're going to stick with you on this one, Robbie, because an opportunity now for Forest to double their lead against Leicester.
It's Gibbs White. It's 23 yards out, right in the centre of goal.
I love how specific you are with that.
Yeah, it might be a bit further, Jules, I don't know. But it's Gibbs White. It's a 4-man wall. There's nobody lying under the wall.
No draft excluder for this one.
It's going to be...
So, we got another goal from the Championship, and Watford are leading against Blackpool in League 2.
Okay, so Forest still leading by...
It is Premier 1, also 1.
Liverpool, Everton, Southampton still 1-1 as both sides push for a winner there, and Wolves are still leading West Ham by a goal to nil. Let's hear about that opportunity before we get to John T at Scunthorpe. Go on there.
It was for Gakpo. It was. Do you know what the 4 substitutions have done for Liverpool?
And it is a goal for Harrogate Town. And in League 1, what a game it's turned out to be. Cheltenham Town 2, Derby 3.
Again in the box, who's that? Dinked it up. Away by Brighton. I also should have mentioned Welbeck and Veltman came on for Brighton. It's all Liverpool now. It's just energy, but Brighton still look very, very dangerous on the counter-attack.
Okay, in the National League, Woking are leading Scunthorpe by a goal to nil, but plenty of issues off the pitch. John T, tell us what's happening there.
Yeah, unfortunately, really, really ugly scenes here at Glanford Park. About half of the Brickon stand has just emptied out onto the pitch. They've taken over the centre circle. The players have had to vacate. We've stopped the game for approximately 5 or 6 minutes. There's currently flares still ongoing in the centre circle. These are, of course, protests against club owner Peter Swan. There's streams of "We Want Swanee Out" being sung throughout Glanford Park by the Scunthorpe United faithful. The announcer over the tannoy has said, repeatedly, that the fact that this game will have to be abandoned if the fans do not get off the pitch. About half of the guys who actually joined the pitch and made their way onto the centre circle have just about made their way back into the stand, but there are still fans behind me causing all sorts of nuisance. Not what you want to see at a game of football, which in the second half had really heated up. Scunthorpe United came out of the block, so there was chances at either end. So you did.
And it's a goal!
With a flourish, but as it stands, still no sign of the players returning to the field of play, and still no sign of the
3-1
clear the pitch.
Swansea.
Keep you up to date, of course. As it stands, though, as you mentioned, Scunthorpe do trail by a goal to nil.
John T, thank you very much. Keep us up to date with that. But Southampton have just taken the lead, and it's a James Ward-Prowse free kick, and it's absolutely brilliant, Franny.
James Ward-Prowse.
Can do best is set piece. It was Shea Adams that got bundled over by Anthony Gordon. The perfect position that James Ward-Prowse would want to put the ball down. He lifts it up and over the wall. Pickford doesn't.
In the Scottish Premiership, it's a goal for Ross County, 1-1 against Motherwell, and
a valuable asset.
Could we have a comeback on that?
Southampton 2-1.
It is.
The goalkeeper there, listen, the goalkeeper, it's not gone in the corner. Do you think he's saying to the defender?
It's
he's
Birmingham
expecting the
City
defender to run
2,
along to the line. Watch
Bristol
the goal
City
number.
4.
It's a good point actually, because it happened, I think, in the Forest game or one of the recent games where one of the defenders ran back and stood on the post, and Ward-Prowse's free kick almost disturbed his thought process, and he ballooned the free kick high and wide. But he didn't do one or the other there, did he? He dropped to begin with.
I think he's too far over anyway. Pickford's too far over. He's given that, in my opinion, he's given so much room just to be able to.
Why show a player of that quality that much room?
It's a lot to show him, isn't it? But you think Mikalenko should be dropping on?
Correct, that's what he's saying to him.
But that's hard to run backwards on the line off that, in that giving him so much. That's hard.
He should have done it there. He should have dropped earlier.
We have another goal in the Scottish Premiership, folks.
It's a long way out as well, isn't it? You know what? It's taken a couple of seconds almost.
It is now
During the World Cup, you started to see
Livingston 4, St Johnstone 2.
they were putting Argentina did it a lot, 2 or 3 players next to the defensive wall to try and create that extra barrier. From that sort of distance, Ward-Prowse is using the wall to help him work out where to put the free kick. Pickford's showing half the goal.
Yeah.
He might have been better off without one at all.
Look at me while I'm hearing you talk. There it is. Welbeck has made it 3-0. Oh, Lord. To be fair, I'm going to have to see it again. I just saw it was a calm finish from Welbeck.
3-0 Brian.
From the right-hand side, Tate, poor defending. It was.
So it's a goal for Brighton. There we go. 3-0 Brighton against Liverpool, folks.
It is so simple. A throw-in, flicked over. Gomez comes across.
Danny Welbeck, take a bow.
And then volleys it with the right again. It is a great finish from Welbeck. Again, I think that's Solly Marsh that flicks it over. So that looks like 2 goals and assists for Solly Marsh. But the finish, Gomez comes in, right foot, flicked over Gomez's head, waits for it to drop, volleys it in. Great finish, 3-0 Brighton. Game was over a little while ago, but game over.
Danny Welbeck's first Premier League goal of the season. He's absolutely done the Liverpool defenders there with that. Alexis McAllister is just coming off as well. That was his first home start.
And we have a goal in the Championship. Queen's Park Rangers have actually equalised against Reading, folks.
Another 3 goals against Liverpool. Twice you've done that this year. This time without reply. You've got some really happy Brighton fans. I'm literally looking at one right now. Ian says Brighton are a joy to watch. The way they transition from the back looks so easy. Charlie, Brighton are playing like prime Barcelona, and Matoma is an absolute gem. What a delight to watch. Dave says genuinely believe we have a shot at Europe this year. Big performances under De Zerbi. So what do you reckon, Jules? 2 goals for Europe next year?
I don't think I'm looking that far ahead yet, Jeff. I think, you know, as long as we continue to improve under Roberto De Zerbi, I think most Brighton fans will be happy. As things stand, this would actually be Liverpool's. It's 2-0. Let's get to the City ground. Wow, what a result this would be to Steve Cooper's side.
It's Brennan Johnson again for Forest, 2-0.
2-0 Forest against Leicester, folks.
Absolutely brilliant. Forest get the ball. It's an outside of the foot pass.
We have a goal in the Championship, and it is Wigan 0, Cardiff 1.
And his first touch just takes it into his path. He opened his body and side foots it past Danny Ward. It's brilliant from Brennan Johnson. We're just going to say it now, Jules. It's in the middle of the park. They get the ball. The pass is brilliant. He's onside. His first touch is brilliant. Then he just
Goal. We're going into League 2 now. League 1 now. And it's Accrington Stanley 2, Bristol Rovers 0.
Beautiful, beautiful finish. Gibbs White with a great pass. The first touch is brilliant and the finish is magnificent.
They are unbeaten in 7 home matches in all competitions. This would make it 8 for Nottingham Forest. But for Leicester City...
Oh, it's a goal. Sheffield United are going to be kicking themselves because Burnley have scored. Burnley have scored at home to Coventry. Oh, Burnley. Sheffield United could have not have done with that, even though they're winning. Burnley are pulling away.
From 13th down, anybody can go down. It is quite remarkable. And you would not rule out Leicester.
No, you wouldn't. And unbelievably, this would actually be Forest's biggest win of the season. All of their wins have come from single goal margins. 2-0 they lead Leicester heading into the final stages of the game. The bottom three at this moment are Southampton at the bottom, Everton and West Ham, but all three teams are level on 15 points. It's only goal difference that is separating the sides, with Bournemouth still to play later today, sitting just above the bottom three on 16 points. Let's get to the Scottish Premiership. Crags, you've got some goals to tell us about.
I have indeed. Ross County have equalised. Malcolm Mackay made a substitution. There was a throw-in on the halfway line, right in front of the manager. He made a substitution, brought on Jordi Hawula. From the throw-in, it's thrown into the middle of the pitch, hooked down the line. Jordan White, the centre forward, heads the ball. Hawula runs through and puts it in the back of the net. An inspired substitution. It's now Motherwell 1, Ross County 1.
Couple of goals in the Championship as well. Cardiff lead Wigan by a goal to nil. And Burnley, the leaders of the Championship, have scored late on against Coventry. Burnley are top. They're 5 points clear of second place Sheffield United heading into the match. And they look like they're gonna get another 3 points at home. They're unbeaten at home all season under Vincent Kompany. What a start to this season they are having. Right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, the end of all of today's 3 o'clock kickoffs. We'll be back in just a moment.
Oh, we've got another goal in League 2, folks. And it's an embarrassing day for Grimsby Town. It's Swindon 4, Grimsby 0. So, guys, keep your questions coming. We do have another goal in League 2, which is... if I can find it for you, folks. Colchester are actually 2-1 up against Rochdale. And in the 90th minute, we have a 90th minute winner in League 1. And it's for Oxford United. Oxford United have scored in the 90th minute, folks.
But they haven't done enough in the attacking third, West Ham, but it's all West Ham now.
Let's get to the FA Trophy and find out how the game's going at Aldershot with Danny.
Sadly, those signs of life didn't last too long. Just 4 minutes after Leiston got one back, Aldershot took back control. It comes from a Leiston counter-attack. They have a 4-on-3, they can't find the pass ends up breaking to Ryan Glover, who whips it across from the right-hand side, and Ini Effiong plants a header that Bayo will be very proud of into the bottom corner. And then just a few moments ago, puts the gloss on it. Again, it's a Leiston throw in their left-back position. They lose the ball, and Harry Panayiotou finds Effiong, gives the keeper the eyes, and slots it into the bottom corner. So 2 for him, 4 for
And
Woking.
Woking
It's Aldershot 4, Leiston 1.
And a first goal in 5
have gone and made 2-0 to Scunthorpe, folks.
They are minutes away now from making it 3 wins in a row as they lead Rochdale by 2 goals to 1. Oxford United also leading Fleetwood 2-1. And in the Scottish Championship, Cove Rangers 2-2 with Wraith Rovers, and Dunfermline 4-0 over Peterhead. Lots going on elsewhere in the other FA Trophy match. It is goalless between Bradford
And Watford.
Bath City. If it stays like this, and it will go straight to penalties, and we'll keep you up to date with whether or not we could see an upset on the cards. A second goal for Woking in the
And Watford are 2-0 against Blackpool.
United. That means the match obviously must have restarted with the fans coming off the pitch, John T.
Yeah, well, that was the good news. The game is back on the way. But if you thought there was discontent amongst the Scunthorpe United faithful beforehand, well, there certainly is now. They had their say, they made their way onto the pitch, they made their protests on the 72nd minute, but since then, they've had to watch their side go 2 goals down. It's Padraig Ammon who's got the second for Woking. They've been knocking on the door ever since the restart, to be quite honest with you. And to be fair, it is a well-deserved goal and a well-deserved 2-goal lead. It does mean Scunthorpe United will remain rooted to the bottom of the National League. But for Woking, who quite frankly have been performing above expectations all season, well, they leapfrog Chesterfield into 3rd as it stands. So over to them, and they're of course in cup action on Tuesday night back in against West Brom. But so far, it looks like the 3 points are heading home with the away side.
And let's get back to our Premier League matches, which we have some in the balance still, with West Ham still pushing for an equaliser at Molineux. Nothing to show for it yet, and Southampton holding on to their lead against Everton. Does it look like the 3 points are going to the away side, Franny?
It does at the moment, Jules, to be honest. Although I haven't said that, it's Anthony Gordon driving into the 18-yard box. He clips it in. Oh, he's in it. Oh, it's a strike from the far post. Southampton managed to clear it away for Carlos Alcaraz on as a substitute.
Oh, we have a goal! We have a goal! Sheffield United have now got the 3 points, folks. Sheffield United 3, Stoke City 1, Jayden Bogle again.
Would there be a late twist in that game? And what about Leicester City? No signs of them coming back into this one, Robbie, is there?
There isn't. Forrest going for the third on the right-hand side. Ball into the box. Cut out. Goal kick. Leicester.
Okay, full time in some of the matches up and down the divisions as well. A huge win for David Wagner in his first match in charge of Norwich City. They beat Preston North End by 4 goals to 0, and it looks as though Brighton are going to beat Liverpool 3-0 at the Amex as we head into the final few minutes. Brighton have a corner. It's been a poor display from Liverpool today.
Very, very poor. It could be another goal here. Brighton's got a corner. Semedo just had a strike as well. Webster's come on for Brighton. Corner came to nothing. It's a goal kick now, but yeah, there's going to be a goal. It's going to come from Brighton.
West Ham still pushing for something here, Chris. Does it look like they could get anything out of this game? Have they done enough to get an equaliser?
No, they've huffed and puffed. Wolves have had the better chances on the counter in the second half, but West Ham have had some a lot more pressure in the last 15-20 minutes. They've become desperate, but not nice from Rice on Traore. He's just gone in the book. Traore broke out. He has that great pace, but Wolves are hanging on in it.
Full time at the Amex, and Brighton have got all 3 points and move above Liverpool into 7th in the Premier League table, Bayo. Full time there. Brighton is having Wolves have sealed City out. Is it offside, Chris, or have Wolves doubled their lead?
It is offside. It's a flick from, I think, Aït-Nouri to Jimenez, who, you know, isn't prolific anymore, but he is. Just have a look. Aït-Nouri heads the ball back, and the ball's just punted forward by Collins. Oh, it's a close one. I think he is just offside, though. He lifts the ball over Fabianski, but they've still got work to do.
Got another goal in the National League, folks. It is 4-1. Bromley versus Yeovil.
2-0. West Ham won't be coming back from that. They're still checking.
So they're checking to see whether the ball comes off the West Ham defender.
Offside.
It's given as offside, so that goal will not stand. Is there still time in the match at Molineux for West Ham to get an equaliser?
And Plymouth have equalised!
Potentially be a
Plymouth have equalised! Sheffield Wednesday are going to be going mad!
The
myself, Jeff and Wednesday out massively. This is a Wednesday have got a lifeline in their season because women have equalised.
7 Premier League matches. Liverpool losing back-to-back games in the Premier League. They lost to Brentford last time out, drew in the cup against Wolves, and they've lost at the Amex today. We'll get more on that in just a moment as it's Everton 1, Southampton 2 as we get into the late stages there. Franny, give us an update. Who's pushing?
Well, it's Everton at this precise moment, Jules. It was a long punt down the field from Jordan Pickford, and Southampton are holding strong so far. This could be a huge 3 points for Southampton and just increase the pressure on Frank Lampard on the board at Everton with this plan sitting as well, if it stays as it is. So still 2-1 Southampton.
Still 2-1 to Southampton, heading into the final minutes there, and it is full time at Molineux, and you can see from the celebrations from Jules Lopetegui there, Chris, just what that win means.
We are nearly at full time in all the games, folks.
Bottom 3 and West Ham.
Oh, a goal at the end in the Scottish Champion Premiership. Hibs have equalised right at the end.
He's made a real impact. David Moyes is wandering off down the tunnel, and I think there's real pressure on him now. But a huge 3 points for Wolves.
Massive 3 points for Wolves, and also a massive 3 points for Steve Cooper's side. This win over Leicester takes them 13th in the Premier League table, Robbie.
Fantastic. Such fine margins. Myself and Chris were just speaking there. Harvey Barnes with 2 glorious chances to put Leicester up in the game. They didn't take them, and then obviously Leicester trying to play offside. Brennan Johnson rounded the goalkeeper, put it into the net to make it 1-0. Gibbs White with 2 assists. Second one to Brennan Johnson again, who puts it into the far corner. Good second half from Nottingham Forest, but such fine margins. Leicester should have been ahead. They weren't. Forest winner.
Boos at the full-time whistle at Goodison Park. It is wrapped up there. Southampton, all 3 points. A good day for them, but a bad day for Frank Lampard's side, Franny.
For Southampton, a huge 3 points. Putting them level on points with them now with Everton. Captain fantastic, stepping up. His first goal was a great composed finish. Standing up for the second.
And another goal in League 2. It is Swindon 5, Grimsby 0.
There's a plan sitting as well, which I can imagine is only going to add fuel to the fans' fury at the board and potentially sort of Frank Lampard as well.
Yeah, the members of the board at Everton decided not to attend today's match. They quoted the reason for that as fearful of their safety. That's the reason they chose not to be there today. And it's a defeat for their side at home, 2-1 against Southampton. It's the first time since 1958 that Everton have lost 4 consecutive home matches. We're seeing images of various banners and flags that are around the stadium at Goodison Park as Frank Lampard walks off the pitch after the defeat today. And it's not the only ground today where we're seeing banners of discontent against the board, Robbie. We're seeing Leicester fans that are also holding up a banner saying Leicester City missing board, and it looked as though some of the fans were giving a bit of grief to some of the Leicester players at the full-time whistle there too.
Well, it's a derby, Jules, isn't it? And the disappointment of losing a derby is huge, and it's worrying for Leicester City now, thinking that they are in a massive relegation battle. It's as simple as that. There's so many teams in it from 13th down. You look at Forest going that way. Leicester, was that the 4th defeat in a row since the World Cup? It's worrying times for Leicester.
And looks so Henderson recovered.
Oh, it's a goal!
Injury that we thought he may have picked up there. He continued on until the final whistle. Let's just hear about the full-time score at the Amex then, Bayo.
It's a goal for Wigan. Wigan 1, Cardiff 1.
Klopp at the end, he looked deflated. Of course, Liverpool players looked deflated, but it was well deserved right from beginning to end. They played well and deserved the win.
Wigan are yet to win under Kolo Touré in his managerial spell so far. This is his 7th match, and it looks as though they have got themselves a 96th minute equaliser at Cardiff through Will Keane. Still in play there between Cardiff and Wigan. It's 1-1. Let's get to Becky at Bracknell Town. There's been a late goal. Who's it gone to, Bex?
Jules, it's pandemonium here. I don't know if you can even hear me, but Bracknell Town have just scored in what is quite possibly the very last kick of the game. An incredible effort from Jack Dean, scooped it up over the keeper into the back corner. Bracknell Town, for the first time in their history, the round of 16, they are so close. They are in tier 7. They have almost beaten.
And right at the end as well in another game. Hull have scored as well. Oh, it's incredible.
Not much happening
Still going crazy right now, folks. Right now, not up FC out the AF Trophy.
There we go. Becky has got herself an upset today in the FA Trophy. Bracknell Town of the 7th tier have made it to the 5th round of the FA Trophy with a goal, which sounds like it was pretty much the last kick of the game. Amazing upset there in the FA Trophy. Right, it did liven up in the second half, thankfully. Goals everywhere. Let's take a look.
And we got a goal right at the very end at Burton.
Match in the Premier League where we got underway at Villa Park in a really edgy match.
4-0.
Beating Leeds by 2 goals to 1.
Shrewsbury against Burton. 4-0 win. Looks like for Shrewsbury.
But Manchester United with a victory over Manchester City by 2 goals to 1. Plenty of controversy with the equalising goal in that game, but it was 2 goals in the space of 4 minutes for United that beat their closest rivals. In the 3 o'clock matches, what a result this was for Roberto De Zerbi's side, beating Liverpool by 3 goals to 0. But that is now back-to-back defeats in the Premier League for Jurgen Klopp's side. Southampton have beaten Everton by 2 goals to 1 at Goodison Park in a massive game at the bottom of the table, which means that Everton actually drop into the bottom 3. Southampton remain bottom, but the 2 sides are now equal on 15 points and make up the bottom 2. Nottingham Forest have beaten Leicester by 2 goals to 0, and Wolves, in another massive match at the bottom of the table, have beaten West Ham by a goal to 0, which takes them out of the bottom 3 and puts their opponents in the relegation zone. Later today, we'll see whether Bournemouth can increase a bit of a gap between themselves and the relegation zone. They sit just 1 point above it, and they travel to Brentford for today's late kickoff. Tomorrow we've got another derby to look forward to in North London between Spurs and Arsenal. Before that, an under pressure Graham Potter's Chelsea side take on Crystal Palace, and Newcastle face Fulham. So this is what the Premier League table looks like as we head into the rest of this weekend's matches now. Arsenal still leading at the top. Manchester City failed to close the gap on them, and Manchester United are now just a point behind Manchester City. They haven't finished above Man City since Sir Alex Ferguson retired 10 years ago. They are now close to closing in, and some people potentially giving them a shout at a shot for the title as well. Newcastle are in 4th place. Tottenham in 5th ahead of the North London derby. Brighton's win against Liverpool moves them above Liverpool in the table. Brighton in 7th, Liverpool in 8th. And at the bottom end of the table, this is how things look. All those games at the bottom have really shaken things up in terms of where the teams are. It's been a good day for Nottingham Forest. They move up into 13th place. Wolves climb from 2nd bottom up into 16th place. 2 points clear now of the relegation zone. And the bottom 3, West Ham, Everton and Southampton, despite their wins, still remain bottom, but it is so close, Jeff, at the bottom of the table now.
Absolutely. So that's the Premier League wrapped up. Let's look at the full-time results in the Championship. Some big results at the top of the table. In the lunchtime kickoff, Rotherham 4, Blackburn 0 is how that finished. Bristol City 4, Birmingham.
The games are at full time, folks. All the games are at full time. Hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. Like, subscribe with the bell notification. Don't forget to post. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for a live watch-along of Benfica versus Sporting in